Kalea Stafford, our special guest, has been helping us out this morning. She's a special events and also membership director for the Enid Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Kalea.
Good morning.
Without going into this long explanation, and not to put you on a spot, people hear about the Enid Chamber of Commerce. They see ribbon cuttings and maybe some John Blankenships in the news about going to the Capitol. But in general terms, what is the Chamber of Commerce?
The Chamber, we work to promote our Chamber member businesses. We want to help them market themselves, advertise, encourage people to work with our Chamber members. That's a lot of my focus is on our members, but we are active in different legislative events. We were part of the Call Like Pipeline Project. We created the Enid for Teachers discount program that different businesses can sign up. We do the federal legislative trip every year where we really show our support and what we're doing as a community for Vance Air Force Base. So we cover a little bit of everything.
And I remember each year is in April or May?
Yes,
that
it's
the
usually
contingent
the
get
end of April.
together and everybody goes to Washington, D.C.
Yes, yes.
And all that. Okay. Well, thanks for being here. We're going to do a little tag team event here. So.
All right.
Yeah, it sounds like the Chamber does a lot of stuff, but could you tell me a little bit more about what you do specifically?
I am over our membership and special events, so I work with our members, sending out e-blasts for them, doing the communications for them, trying to help promote our members, as well as the different special events that the Chamber does. One being Cherokee Strip that's coming up. That's our biggest event. That's my biggest event that takes the most of my time and effort each year. We start planning for this event in July, so it's, long drawn out process, but it's always worth it.
It's kind of like Thanksgiving dinner. You spend 8 hours to cook it and you eat it in what, 15 minutes or less, and then you go sit in front of the TV and watch the football game.
Yep.
So the parade, you spend 8 months for maybe a 2-hour event.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about the parade, Cherokee Strip Days. Again, as a kid growing up in Perry, it was a big deal for me. And we knew in Perry that Enid was doing their version.
Right.
And I remember it being this tall, if you will. We all loaded up and went to the town square for Cherokee Strip Days. And the parade in Perry was the highlight. And I know the parade has really been the signature event here in Enid. So let's talk about basically what time do folks need to get lined up? And don't they line up south of the event center and things of this nature? Somebody's watching and said, I forgot where they told us to line up at. Do you know?
Well, there will be people in the parking lot of the event center. Since it is such a large parade, a lot of people don't know this. We actually have 5 different staging areas, and we divide the parade entries into groups and stage them in the different areas all behind the event center to keep the flow so everyone's not in one big group and it doesn't bottleneck to get them out. And so we have 5 volunteers at each of the staging areas that will just kind of funnel people out and shuffle them through when it's their time to go.
And I appreciate you sharing that, because oftentimes people say, you just line up and go in a parade. Well, no, it's a little bit more than just lining up and getting in the parade.
That is
the parade.
The truth, for sure.
And I understand that a new feature this year, kids get to decorate their bikes?
Yes, we actually have had that for the last couple years.
Okay.
It's just they don't have to decorate their bikes. It's encouraged, to celebrate the land run. Cowboy attire is encouraged. We do a best dressed $10 Freddy's gift card giveaway for the kid that just goes all out decorating their bike, dressing up, and the kids are led by the bike shop here in Enid. They always agree to lead the kids and get them started in the parade, and I know quite a few kids that look forward to it.
We will be videotaping the parade this year and airing it back on the Enid Television Network. For those unable to see the parade, we'll air it on television next week. But do you have a recommendation? Where's the best place to view the parade?
The only place that I've ever viewed it from is right in front of the gazebo. I always sit on the judge's reviewing stand. So I guess I would say right off of Randolph. It seems to be that's where most of the people come. And people will come at 9:15, set up their chairs, stake out their spot. I mean, people want a good view of this parade.
We did the same thing in Perry, So, Well, enough about the parade, and we got to include Aaron here. I know Aaron's got a lot of questions.
I
There's a
do.
lot more than just the parade.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in. I've heard there's a bunch of other events that go along with the parade. Could you tell me a little bit more about those and what times those are at?
Yeah, it actually starts tomorrow. Everything really kicks off tomorrow. From 9 a.m. to about 6 p.m., the Enid Public Library will show Western movies for free, just looping all day. So just, a lot of kids go after school and stop and watch the movies. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. is our famous Cherokee Strip lunch rush. It's the Indian tacos provided by the Enid Intertribal. They'll be $7. There's always a line. I've seen people in the pouring rain in line waiting for those Indian tacos. They are delicious. They'll also, Main Street Enid is sponsoring the movie and music on the lawn tomorrow evening. And then Saturday morning kicks off with the parade. Like we've touched on, the Enid Walk of Fame is at 9 a.m. Our festival begins about 9:30. The vendors will be set up. We'll have arts and crafts vendors. The parade obviously is at 10:30, and then at 1 and 1:45 on the lawn, we'll have the Old West gunfight.
Old West gunfight.
Yes.
That sounds like fun. Now I know what I'm doing this weekend.
They're
Sign-
always looking
sign
for
Aaron up.
volunteers to get kidnapped for their
There
you
show.
go. Here's a great opportunity.
Perfect
for
role
Aaron.
for me.
Let's talk a little bit about how folks can participate. Forgive me for reverting back to my childhood days at Perry, but it was such a big event, and I know it's a huge event here in Enid, but we would make this deliberate effort to have a picnic in the park. We would have cousins from Oklahoma City would come to Perry to the Cherokee Strip Days, and once a year we'd all sit in the park and have our picnic. What are other ways that people can participate? They can bring their lunch and have that kind of park, or they can take advantage of the food trucks.
Yes, we will have quite a few food trucks
me.
down there that we would love for people to take advantage of. The parade is usually over about lunchtime, which is perfect timing, so you can just go hop in line. There will be arts and crafts vendors set up all along the square for people to walk around and enjoy what they have to offer. We'll have inflatables and train rides for kids. It's really a family-friendly event. Another way to participate is sign up for the kids' bike parade. We are full on our Cherokee Strip parade entries at this time, but the bike parade, you show up that morning with your entry form and you're able to get in, and so bring the kids down and ride their bikes.
So there's definitely a ton of ways to participate.
Yeah, lots of ways to really get involved on Saturday.
Yeah. And I was curious, since you mentioned the gunfight, is there any history behind that? Like, why the gunfight?
I think it's just
You can just make it up.
Yeah.
Later.
I think it's just because it kind of fits with the Cherokee Strip theme,
Okay.
the land run theme, cowboys type thing. It's just something that since I've been at the chamber, this is my 5th Cherokee Strip celebration to plan and work with. We've just always had them.
Okay. What about the parade? It sounds like you've done it for a few years, so I'm guessing there must be some kind of history behind that.
How far does it go back? Do you know?
We don't know. We were talking about that in our office. We're not really sure when it started. It started, I think, before John and Joan were both at the chamber, so
Well, I know it's going on in the 60s. That dates me, so that
yeah.
takes it way back then.
It's gone
so.
on for quite a while, and we're glad to see it still going.
Sure, sure.